He finished his dinner hurriedly and ran into his sister's room, picked up his sister's phone, switched it on, and turned the video on. He had a paper ready, a pencil ready, a ruler ready, and a pair of scissors ready. After switching this camera on, he started speaking into the camera saying, "Friends, here I want to show you something very surprising." And he said, "Look at the way I am drawing on this paper." He started drawing. He told them, "Watch the way I keep folding the paper over and over again in different ways." He did that. And he told them, "Now you watch me cut the paper at different places and different corners and shapes." And he said, "Be ready for a surprise." He started opening up the paper. As he started opening, he said, "In for a surprise, ready? Here, abracadabra, a flower." When he opened the paper, there was no flower. It did not work out. The experiment and the demonstration went completely wrong. Without wasting a moment, without batting an eyelid, without a moment of hesitation or regret, this little boy looked straight into the camera saying, "Cheloldu ready agu, cheloldu ready agula, endedu ready ayilla, enikkoru koyappilla." You may not have understood what I said. This is typical northern dialect from the Malayalam language. Translated into English, it says, some people get it right. Some people get it wrong. I didn't get it right. I have absolutely no problem. End of the video. By next morning, his sister discovers this little video in her phone. She sends it to her father, who was working in one of the Middle Eastern countries. His father found it very interesting, posted it in the family and friends group. Within a week's time, the video went viral all over Kerala. By the second week, this Malayalam phrases that I just spoke to you was on the lips of every Malayali in Kerala and abroad and all over the world. Some people get it right. Some people get it wrong. I didn't get it right. I have absolutely no problem. It was the most catchy phrase in 2020 during the time of COVID-19 pandemic. People embraced it, repeated it, sang it and celebrated it as the most powerful slogan that celebrates the power of positive thinking in times of defeat and in times of difficulties. People couldn't think of a better catchphrase, a better slogan than these wordings of this class 4 boy than all the other things that were going around in the world or in Kerala. After a week, all the Malayalam newspapers in Kerala came up with a full front page advertisement. This advertisement was by Milma Company, milk powder company, milk company. Milma Company actually manipulated, reimagined the words of this boy and said, Some people get it right, some people get it wrong. But if you use Milma, you will always get your T right. The district collector of Malappuram district picked the same slogan from the boy, reimagined it, rephrased it, and discoursed it for the entire Kerala, saying, some people get it, some people don't get it. If you have got it, don't pass it on. That was a cautionary tale in times of the COVID pandemic. The then Chief Minister of Kerala, Pinarayi Vijayan, on a public function, not only celebrated this slogan, this idea, felicitated this boy, gave him an award, told the entire people in Kerala and the rest of the world who can actually understand Malayalam and this phrase, in times of difficulties, when faced with the defeat, this is the kind of thinking, this is the kind of an idea that we all need. Here is a class 4 boy who has taught the world how to accept defeat, embrace it gracefully with a power of positive thinking. Today we are at the closing ceremony of this great event. Over 600 students have participated. Over 100 institutions have participated. And if you recall the tale of this boy, some have made it, some have not made it. And those of us who have not made it should be going home saying, I have not made it. I don't have a problem. On the opening ceremony of this event, Father Principal reminded us during his speech, play with passion, play with integrity, win with grace, he said. And I'd like to add one more statement. Embrace defeat with magnanimity. Magnanimity like that of Muhammad Fayyaz, that class 4 boy. All of us have been taught to win and celebrate victory. People celebrate our victories. But we have not been taught, either by our parents or by schools or institutions, how to accept or embrace, concede defeat or failure. I believe anybody can celebrate. Anybody can celebrate victory. But it is extremely difficult. And only a few selected few, who can actually accept or concede or embrace or even celebrate defeat. One of my favorite novels and also one of my favorite films is Gone with the Wind. And I'm sure those of the senior members in this congregation would have seen that film over and over again. If you have not read, at least you have seen the film. If you remember the story, it is the story of a family, a couple, a lady, a love story, a family story, a war story. At the heart of it all, you have this lady called Scarlett O'Hara. Almost impossible lady to relate to and live with. And her husband, Red Butler, tried his level best throughout their stormy love affair and their relationship and marriage to keep the relationship going. That's happening in the background of the American Civil War and the fall of an entire civilization in the southern part of the United States and the loss of the plantation culture and civilization, etc. At the heart of it, you have this marriage breaking down beyond repair. Red Butler tried everything to keep it going, but he did not succeed. He storms out of the marriage and storms out of the family home with a classic statement, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." That's a classic statement that you will hear from the lips of all the senior members across the world. At the end of the novel, almost on the last page, Scarlett O'Hara, devastated, defeated, lost, bruised, battered, emerges from the ashes of that civilization, the family, plantations, etc., and says, "I will go back to Tara. Tara is her home. I will think of it tomorrow. I will stand it then. I will think tomorrow of some way of getting him back." That is her husband, Red Butler, who walked out of her home and marriage saying, "Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn." The novel ends, and also the film ends on a very positive note. In the background or in the lap of defeat. Dear friends, if you belong to those who had to concede defeat in this tournament, I have a message for all of you. Borrowing the words of Scarlett O'Hara, I would like you to say to yourself, "I will think of it tomorrow. I will go home and think how I can win this tournament someday. Tomorrow is yet another day." If you can accept, embrace the defeat the way that little friend from Kerala, Muhammad Fayaz, did, and if you can go home today with the words improvised from the novel and from the film, I think you would have spread a positive message and you have embraced the power of positive thinking for yourself and for the rest of the world. As I told you, the positive outlook in the words of Fayaz Khan had taken the entire Kerala in 2020 by storm. Imagine over 600 people go home with the same positive outlook and attitude. You could perhaps take the world for a storm. Why? We would continue celebrating, congratulating those who made it to the finals and attained the coveted prizes in various categories. I like to congratulate everyone who made it to the final and to the prizes, the coveted prizes. You definitely played passionately, played with integrity, played with your nerves absolutely in its place. That's why you made it. I congratulate you. Congratulate your spirit, your intelligence, your tactics, everything at this moment, at the same time. I also congratulate all those who participated in this with this message. Go home with the outlook of Muhammad Fayaz and with the positive outlook of Scarlett O'Hara. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Father, for those powerful and truly inspiring words. We are grateful for the arbiters, the volunteers that worked tirelessly throughout this event, the Department of Sports and the Alumni Association, without whom this event could never have been realized. And of course, our distinguished dignitaries. We are honored to have among us today our guest of honor, the 92nd Grandmaster of India, Aaryan Varshney, who achieved his title with a round to spare at a tournament in Armenia. we would request Father Rector and Father Joseph to please felicitate our guest. Mr. Sanjeev Konar is also requested to join the felicitation. Thank you, fathers. Thank you, sir. We are also grateful to our second guest of honor, the 95th Grandmaster of India, Aronyak Ghosh, who achieved his title at the 23rd Bangkok Chess Club Open with an unbeaten score of 7 out of 9 points. He unfortunately could not join us today due to some urgent business. We now request Acting Principal, Reverend Father Dr. Joseph Kalanda SJ, to please address the audience.
Reverend Father Rector, other Reverend Fathers, respected dignitaries, our esteemed Grandmasters, officials, parents, the SXCCAA core team, and most importantly, my dear young Grandmasters of tomorrow. A very good evening to all of you. Over the past 3 days, this campus has been filled with extraordinary energy of over 600 brilliant minds from 10 premier institutions. We set out to honor the visionary legacy of our late Father P.C. Mathew, and looking at the intensity and passion amongst the participants, I feel pretty sure that it is gradually emerging to be a landmark event in the chess calendar of the City of Joy. Congratulations to all our participants for making an immense impact beyond the 64 squares. To our young players, whether you are living with a trophy or a tough lesson, remember our motto of Nihil Ultra, nothing beyond. Every game you played was a lesson in life. You practiced patience under pressure, foresight before action, resilience in adversity. Make chess a daily habit. The discipline you practice on the board is the exact blueprint you need to navigate the choices and challenges of the real world. You are all champions in the making. To the parents, thank you for supporting your children's passion. In the world of digital distractions, you have encouraged a pursuit that demands deep focus and strategy. By fostering the habit of chess, you are building the critical thinkers and problem solvers our nation needs. Keep championing their journey. This historic event would not have been possible without the meticulous planning of the St. Xavier's College Calcutta Alumni Association, led by Mr. Sanjeev Konar, alongside the Department of Sports and our student volunteers. You have executed a flawless tournament. But the roaring success of this third edition proves there is a deep hunger for more. We need more platforms that empower our youth, sharpen their intellect, and give them the stage they deserve to shine. Thank you to our chess icons, GM Aaryan, WIM Sneha, Trishan, and Anish for inspiring us all. I pray for safe travels to everyone. Keep playing, keep strategizing, and make the Xaverian values guide you always.